Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So before we do get into it, I do want to apologise for the lack of content over the last sort of nearly a week or so. If I'm going to be completely honest, very little has happened, and the things that have happened, it's just sort of stuff that we've already spoke about anyway, be it links with the same sort of transfers and, you know, bids coming in for Jack Clark. I've done 2 or 3 videos about that now. There's still ongoing talk to Ross Stewart, things we've already spoke about, and it would begin to feel very, very repetitive, so I didn't want to do that to you. But the one thing that I have kind of put off as well is this, which I'm about to do, and is have a look at the potential new kit. It looks like it's either going to be a third kit or an away kit. Either way, it's definitely not going to be the first kit, because it's not red and white. But I've also had this picture in my possession for a good few days before it actually hit sort of mainstream social media. It was sent to me via a WhatsApp group, but I thought, I'm not going to put it out there, because the last time someone did this and they put it out, and it happens every year, someone who works in these factories on these workstations where they do make these kits, once it's leaked, that person loses the job. So they've probably sent this picture in confidence to someone, and then obviously it's got out there, and the fact that it's out there now anyway makes me think, right, sod it, I'm just going to talk about it and give you my thoughts on it, because now else is going on. As I say, I think Christian Speakman did recently talk about Ross Stewart, so I will talk about that very briefly before we get into the kits. Again, it's something we kind of touched over, but it is something that's happened recently, a couple of days ago, or even a day ago. Speakman did say that Ross Stewart is increasingly confident that he will sign a contract, and he is really happy at Sunderland, but the contract just hasn't been signed as of yet. But as we've said, for me, if Ross Stewart doesn't want to be here, fair enough, you need to let him go. I don't want anyone at the club who doesn't want to be here. That's just my rule of thumb. That's it. You know, what's the point even keeping him on for another year if he didn't want to be here? I would try and push him out the door at that point. I don't think that's the case. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying if that was to be the case, if Ross Stewart is having the conversation, which doesn't seem to be, but if he is having the conversation with Speakman saying, I don't want to be here, then why would I say, no, you ought to stay here, because you're not going to get the best out of a player who doesn't want to pull that shirt on. Again, not saying that Ross Stewart is being like that, but my rule, generally for me anyway, would be I don't want anyone to be here regardless of how bad or good they are. But either way, yeah, we'll have a look at the kit. So I've got the picture that's kind of just got the outline of the kit itself, so it's got rid of all the backgrounds. It will look a bit messy, but you should be able to make out what it is. So it's this kit here. It is a sort of pink/purple kit. It's definitely a sort of dark purple around the trims. And it's got these lines around the sort of shoulders, the sort of white and pink lines around the shoulders, which at first, I think this could be one of those kits where it looks a lot better on a human being, not just a triple XL shirt that's just thrown on the side like this, because, you know, it doesn't look great. But I have also looked at comparisons for this year's sort of Nike stock sort of T-shirts or training wear, a little bit like this. Do you know what I mean? Because every year they bring out a new sort of just style, and it's quite generic, and then there's just a load of like sort of badges, football teams badges chucked on them, and that's how they make the kits. There are Sunderland ones at the moment, training kits, that are very, very similar, but they're not quite the same with the straps and the shoulders. So I have found one that is actually the right one, and it is this. It might not look it. We'll flip from one to the other. So there's this one. Of course, this is in blue. I couldn't find one in red. But this is one in blue. You can see at the top, it's got the black in the middle, just above the centre of the chest, and then it has got these lines. So if we go back to the pink one, it is exactly that, and this is the new 2023 Nike. I think it's called the Nike Strike or something like that. I don't know, but either way, it's exactly the same. So for me, I think this is true. I think this is either the third or the away kit, but we don't really do third kits anymore. We haven't for a while, from what I can remember. So that could be our away kit, you know, and like I say, I think it's one of them that in person, I think it could actually be quite a nice kit. It's different. It's not quite sky blue. Like, I love my away kits to be in blue or sky blue. Those are my favourite Sunderland kits. I do like quite like a black one as well. But for me, it is very, very much out there. And I know a lot of people have hated on this kit. And I can understand why. It's very different. It's very out there, as I say. It isn't your normal colour that you'd associate with Sunderland. But yeah, so that is the kit talk at the moment. Again, it isn't confirmed, but what do you guys think of it in the comments down below? For me, again, I think it's going to be one of those where I think in person it could be really nice, but it was almost the opposite for me last year. Like, when I saw the players in those home kits, it looked quite nice, particularly on TV, but then when you go to games, for me anyway, Like when I went to games and when I actually saw the kit in person, I had it in my hand at the beginning of last season, it felt very cheap. And for me, I liked the idea of the sort of design itself. It was simplistic and it did relate to old kits from the sort of early 2000s or late 90s. And I really liked that kind of feel. But when you actually got my hands on it myself, it felt very tacky. The quality was really shit. It was poor and baggy. And I didn't like the fitting in that. And I'm very much someone who I likes a certain fitting on a kit. And it just wasn't for me anyway, the home kit. But I think this could be one of those there where it looks a bit much, you know, just looking at it on a screen. But then when you see it in real life, it's like, okay, actually, it's pretty cool, this. You know what I mean? One of them. So either way, again, let me know in the comments down below what you think. But a last bit, a little part of this video, the last part of this video, I will discuss Jack Clarke again. I know I didn't really want to do this, but not much else is going on. I believe a third bid from Burnley has come in, and I also believe it's the exact same 9 million that we were repeatedly getting off them, but with more add-ons and instalments, which I believe it's been rejected, and rightly so. You know, a few people, even some of them for themselves, had a bit of a pop at me, or not a pop, but a comment when I did say in social media, you know, this is insulting that we're getting, you know, offers of 7, 8, 9 million for someone like Jack Clarke. When you look at other players who were bought for considerably more, who I believe to be of a less quality or a lesser quality than Jack Clarke, and then people will say, oh, yeah, everyone lowballs. Why are you finding this so shocking? Why it's a lowball offer? Like, okay, yeah, no, that's fair enough. Everyone tries with a lowball offer. You do it on eBay. I do. Do you know what I mean? You always start off with a lowball when you're offering on Facebook Marketplace or something like that for a pair of trainers. Not that I do that, but you know what I mean. But everyone starts with a lowball offer when you're negotiating in any kind of business. But to lowball 3 times and then give the same couple of offers, it's madness and it's disrespectful at this point. I don't know whether they're just trying to, you know, unsettle Jack Clarke, but Jack Clarke's agent has come out and said that he actually loves playing for Sunderland. He loves the camaraderie with the squad and everyone, the togetherness there, the style of football, as the manager, and he's really enjoying his time. And he's not looking to go. But you can't help what other clubs are going to do. You can't help other clubs coming in and giving offers. But that's not to say that Jack Clarke wants to go, and he doesn't. But if you look now, you know, Burnley, they're looking to spend 19 million on the goalkeeper Trafford, which is crazy. It makes no sense. They want to buy Trafford for 19 million, between 16 and 19 million for a keeper that has never played above League One, yet you're offering 9 million for Jack Clarke, who raked up some massively impressive numbers in the Championship last season, but you're offering over double for a keeper with no Championship experience, let alone Premier League experience. So whoever's in charge of their sort of scouting network and the negotiating and buying and selling, there's something wrong with them. Let's put it that way. But yeah, guys, so that's everything as of right now. I know I have rambled on and off, but there's not really too much going on in terms of transfers or out like that. But yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think of the new kit, about Ross Stewart, and of course of these ridiculous Clarke bids as well. But if you enjoyed, hit the like button for me and subscribe if you are new. Take care and stay jammy.